You said Jordan Lewis. That's Jordan Lewis.
He's a slot corner.
Right. Yep. So he knows he's going to have to give Tom Brady a throw to his right shoulder. So he's going to have to crossover fight and open up. And that's what he did. I mean, they're fighting. Look at Jordan Lewis has his arms on him. And basically, all he does is just crosses over, gives him a back shoulder throw. Tom put it right on the money. That's an unbelievable throw. Give Godwin credit that he gave him some room on the sideline. And Jordan Lewis just slipped down. I mean, I guess as it started to get late tonight, Skip, you know how it is in the South. And the dude starts to get on the field as it gets later because it was hot during the day, and the field gets slick. And so now all of a sudden, guys are going to start falling down, and it's a lot more difficult on the DB who doesn't know where the receiver is going as opposed to a receiver that knows where I'm going. But I didn't think that was an offensive pass interference. He didn't extend. Yeah, I mean, we're fighting for a position. You're entitled to your position. I'm entitled to my position.
Yep.
You just fell down. But I thought it was a great route by Godwin. I thought it was an even better throw by TB. And it was a great play, and they needed it because now that set up basically a walk-off field goal.
It was the play of the night. It was GOAT being GOAT. It was a play that they've clearly practiced even in the public park during the pandemic 1,000 times because it is a timing throw.
Yes.
The ball is gone before he back shoulders, before he stops, breaks his route off.
Yes.
And the ball has to be there before even Chris turns to look.
Correct.
Okay, so now let's frame this with, as we just pointed out, as Alex pointed out, that NBC's former ref analyst said, definitely pass interference because he extended. But Chris Godwin said we were just hand fighting.
Yeah,
that's all that was, okay? Mike McCarthy said after the game, to his credit, he said, I don't want to see a game decided that way. Well, we go back and forth on this show. If it's in the first quarter or the fourth quarter, does it matter? Was it extension? Was it a clear push-off pass interference? Well, Mike McCarthy, I think, thought to his eye, it was close but no cigar. Like you can't call that. And finally, Jordan Lewis, to his credit, said it was a toss-up call, like it could have gone either way. So when it happened and I saw the first replay, my first thought was, if they had called it, I would not, jump out the window because the point was it was close enough to call. But I'm still okay that they did not call it because there's not clear extension on this play. The arm doesn't go all the way out. It's more of a forearm.
Skip, it's like, watch what he does with his left arm. He tries to get it over because he got to open because it's going to be a back shoulder, and his back shoulder is his right shoulder.
Okay. So Jordan Lewis's problem is he's already a little bit fooled. Like he's a little bit fooled, and then it becomes the equivalent of a flop to me because once he knows he's beaten, once he looks up and like, oh, you know what?
It's the Jordan Byron Russell. He's already off balance, so it looks worse.
Just go ahead and fall down and hope that you get the call. And Jordan Lewis is a shrewd little operator. He's been around now for, 4 years. He was a third-round pick out of Michigan, and I like him, and he knows how to play, and he's made a lot of big, key, little plays for this team. And he was trying to just get the call, but it's not blatant enough, and I'm sure Cowboy Nation's going to hate me for saying this, but it's not blatant enough to say, hey, you had to call that. It changed the game. I don't think it changed the game, and the play was executed so brilliantly on both ends because Godwin's a Pro Bowl receiver, and again, to be able to stop and gather yourself and balance up and catch the ball, not the simplest play.
But Skip, what's most impressive is you watch how Tom Brady's offensive line passed these stunts off. If we can go back and look at this from the beginning, that's where it got started. You look at the job that they do. If we can go back and watch this, look at the job that offensive line does because they're unbelievable on this play right here. Look at this, Skip.
I thought they were.
Look at this.
They're just.
They're like, oh, no, we good.
They're just stoning everybody. Listen, they are really good. They're top three, and I thought they did a sensational job against a Dan Quinn who was sending some thunder. He was. He didn't back off. They didn't try to play it safe. They didn't just play coverage. Micah would go every once in a while.
But Skip, if you think about it, Tom Brady almost falls down, and it almost gets intercepted. If Trayvon Diggs is a little taller, he tipped it, and it ended up Mike Evans.
He almost caught it, too. He had a shot.
But Skip, if you notice this, Tom doesn't have the rapport with Mike Evans that he has with AB and Chris Godwin.
Really? I don't know. Well, Mike Evans was their leading receiver last year.
I don't believe he's going to be their leading receiver this year.
Okay, but the point is, none of those guys seem to care. Maybe Antonio cares and he keeps it to himself, but at least he keeps it to himself about who gets the sugar on any given night. It just depends on coverage. Because if you go into a game, if you look at the stats last year, you say, I have to stop that big joker because he's 6 feet 5 inches tall and I got to figure out how to neutralize.
But you also have to understand, AB missed 8 games.
He did.
Here's the thing that AB has working against him. Trayvon Diggs seems to have followed Mike Evans. So now you take your first best corner, put him on Mike Evans. Your second best corner, put him on Chris Godwin.
Yep.
You want your third, fourth best corner dealing with AB? Do you understand what AB is?
Much of the night, it was my second corner, Anthony Brown, so it was Brown on Brown, and their Brown was getting my Brown.
Yeah, it was Brown on Brown crime.
Maybe. That's a good line, actually. But the point is, I look at the defensive stats, and Anthony Brown led my team with 11 tackles. Well,
you don't want that, Skip. That's your quarterback.
Okay, but at least he wasn't quitting.
No.
He was getting beaten, but then at least he was making plays.
Yeah. Here's the way you look at it, Skip. If I look at the box score and I see my corner or my safety.
Okay, well, guess who also tied him with 11 tackles? My new safety, Jaron Kearse, who's not even a starter, but he was like a nickel safety.
Right.
He gets 11 stops. Really?
That good. That means there's a lot of completions going on. There's a lot of passes. You want your linebackers to be up there in the 10, 11, 12 tackles.
All right, so I told you yesterday, in the end, heart of hearts, I was rooting for the Dallas Cowboys.
I know you were.
I love Brady, but I have loved my Cowboys way, way, way longer than I ever loved Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Right.
So in the end, even I, as a Cowboy diehard, I couldn't work up any anger over this call because it's so close. It's ticky-tack. If you throw the flag, it's like, okay.
In a game that's been hard fought like this, and I think, hey, there's like, man, do I really want to interject myself into a situation like this? Now, I agree with you. If it's a blatant pass interference, offsides in the first quarter, still call in the fourth quarter, no matter what the score is. But, Skip, I just didn't think this rose to the level that this should have been an offensive PI. I thought they did a great job of a no call. Both guys are hand fighting, trying to get free. And it was just fortunate that Chris Godwin made a great play.
And here's my final analysis of Tom Brady. Even if you threw the flag for offensive PI, well, it was 2nd and 10 at the 42. Now it's going to be what? 2nd and 20? Would it be
30? Yeah, 30. It's going to be 2nd and 20.
20, yeah, 2nd and 20. Move it back 10 yards. Well, it's Tom Brady. You don't think he's going to figure this out?
It's not like it was 3rd and 10, and all of a sudden you're going to make it 3rd and 20.
It didn't end the game. Okay, got it.
Okay, look at you being objective for the first time in 5 years. You objected when it comes to something about the Cowboys.
Because I'm so happy with the way they played. I don't even care that they lost.
I think you got
This is the first time in history I don't care that they lost because they won.
Did they win?
Yes, they did.
They did.
My quarterback won.
Well, one thing's for sure is that Dak Prescott left no doubt last night that the ankle and recent shoulder injury will hamper him this season. The Cowboys quarterback went 42 of 58, both tying career highs, to go along with 403 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception that went off CeeDee Lamb's hands. So, Shannon, give Dak a letter grade.
Skip, I gave him a B-.
B-?
Yeah, I gave him a B-. Skip, he looked a lot better than I thought he would. Although I still don't believe that shoulder's 100% because I heard them say, Al Michaels said Dak Prescott is going to get an MRI every